So we've got another super from Keith Farrell who says, "Do you feel your channel might swerve away from Warcraft content if they keep doing this? Keep going down this consistent road of letdowns? I used to be a WoW fanatic, but I lost faith in the company in WoD." Yeah, you know, for somehow I still had faith in them after WoD. I think Legion had a part of that. I am losing faith as time goes on. It's honestly, it is a complex and hard to talk about issue for me because in my head, like, my identity is I'm a WoW player and I've played WoW for much of my gaming life and I've generally loved it. But like, that's my identity. And it's really stressful whenever the game that actually exists doesn't match up with that because the game has changed. And, you know, the game, it feels like, you know, it's WoW. So what it probably should be is some friggin' boomer old man game from 2000 and, you know, a long time ago. But now it's like picking up. Oh God, now we're streaming and I've just said boomer and I'm about to say zoomer. But, you know, now it feels like it's this kind of like, gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta plan your routes, gotta hyper optimize this thing, gotta sim that, do this, do that, get this add-on, do that thing, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's that or nothing. And I'd actually be okay if it was all of that crazy stuff. It's the or nothing bit that I'm not happy about because I'm never going to say that World Quest, etc., 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 are, you know, good outside of endgame instance content.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just really challenging for me. I care about the world of Warcraft, the lore. I love doing the raids. And, you know, I guess that initial, you know, dabble in the patch for a month. I never thought I'd be the sort of person for whom WoW would turn into, I will dabble in the patch for a month or two, and I will, you know, for me, I will do the raid to the end and get curve every single tier. That is absolutely what I'm committed to doing, what I want to do.
Yeah.
I honestly just never envisioned a future where it would be just that, and it is making me sad that it's becoming just that. And then it does make us think about content, as Keith has said here. You know, I think that we will have the Bellular Gaming channel stocked with WoW content consistently for multiple years past this, purely just on covering patch stuff, covering PTR stuff, talking through the evolution of the game, and then for me, really importantly, lore, story, world, the broader Warcraft experience. There's so much to do there. So I don't think that'll change. But FF will probably need to get in somewhere because I'm enjoying it. My natural energy is drawing me towards it. And, you know, right now, content-wise, it is this stream that handles that, right? It's how we actually get to, you know, we get to both play FF, but also put out FF content. But I guess then in my head, it's like, well, what does more FF content look and feel like?
Honestly, that's what I've been bashing my head off a significant amount. Like, in order to get to the point of FF content being established on the channel in any sense, we have a very delicate bridge to walk. Because while we have like 2,600 of you here watching, God knows how many of you watch because you are interested in us talking about FF. Maybe you're like not that interested, but we're kind of maybe piquing your interest, or maybe you don't give a shit about WoW and you're here because you love FF. Either way, that doesn't carry across to the audience of all the rest of our content. As much as I would love it to, honestly. But, like, there's definitely the more, significantly more engaged kind of people watching now and listening to us, which obviously I'm really thankful for. But for everyone else, we have to tread waters a little bit more gently.
Yeah, we have to ensure, because right now we've got the people who are opting into Final Fantasy, and that's why right now everyone's happy.
Yeah.
But if we start throwing FF on the people who have not opted into it, and then there's also the problem of, like, splitting the audience, and this is where the problems of modern YouTube rear their head and make me very depressed and sad. It's like every time you do content that doesn't do as well as the content you just did, it's like your moving average of how much YouTube is hyped about your channel kind of goes down, and it feels like the algorithm is less likely to give you the business. Because seriously, so much of our job is dependent on if something gets picked up by the algorithm. It's so it is creative castration.
It really is.
You feel castrated creatively because, and I mean, that's why we're doubling down on Patreon, live content. Basically, we're trying to have a smaller community now. But like, we went from being, I think we're a little bit behind Noble in terms of subs, but like we did for a decent while there, we were one of the largest WoW outlets, and we're now actually trying to work out how we can have a smaller audience.
Yep.
Because we actually want to have the creative freedom that comes with a smaller audience where, it's just, I guess, smaller audience. Because, if we can have a smaller audience who likes the more niche things that we're hyper excited about, and we can make the numbers, the finances work to be able to support, and pay for the team that makes that content, I mean, then we are making, sure, maybe less people watch our content, but they like it more, and that's what, I'd rather the content that we make is main monitor content for a small number of people than second monitor content for hundreds of thousands of people, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I think it was either last week or the week before I said something along the lines of, I mean, we're here, might as well do something that people feel is worthwhile, other than just stuff that's kind of passing time. Might as well do stuff that's worthwhile. Yeah,
so it's like, look, WoW content is completely safe. There are series that I am so goddamn hyped up to do.
Yeah.
You'll definitely see one fairly soon. It's, right, okay, I'm literally in this point where, honestly, if I was following my heart, I'd immediately hire 2 more video editors to do that series.
Yeah, for sure.
That, we just had a feasibility study of today. I know it sounds so weird and cold. Maybe like, we conducted an internal feasibility study of the content we're making, but it was literally being like, hello there. How long does it take to make one of these videos? And from that, in order to get those videos weekly, we would literally need to hire up. And it's like, in my heart, I just want to do that right now and make the plunge, but I can't be irresponsible, so we have to let that content, go out, and then if it does decently enough, but it's sort of that weird thing where I think we'll have to do that content, and it will probably have to be bookended by me basically being like, listen, this is the thing that we have been internally the most excited about in months and months and months, but also we cannot afford it. So could you please support us on Patreon or whatever, because we want to hire 2 more people, and if we do that, we'll be able to make you this weekly in addition to all the other things we do. So and that's the weird thing with the WoW content.
It's just getting that sell over time by proving to people what we are capable of doing, what we can have.
We just need to show the goods every every week, and so that's the interesting thing thinking about content. As for FF content, for me, it's just like, where do we put it? So we do have content worked out that will work in the main channel.
Yeah.
And, I eventually want to do a sort of, I don't know, like almost a 10-hour impressions of multiple MMOs.
Yeah.
And then maybe do a little bit more in the MMOs that catch me. In my head is ESO right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And, if it's that sort of thing, if it's like general MMO content and people are generally all interested, then, you know what, let's do it in the main channel. Let's see how it goes, see if it works. But yeah, there's a looming identity crisis for the main channel.
Definitely.
And we need to work out how to do that right.
Yeah, that actually brings up to what Worked a Game Super saying, you all playing FF has helped destigmatize the game for many WoW players. I want WoW to be a great game and FF to be a great game, but you all talking about it is overall positive. That is
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's big praise, but that's ostensibly my goal with the content that I've been kind of trying to work on. Is I want to build a bridge, because it's kind of like there's that feeling where if we start talking about FF loads, we're leaving a load of WoW players in the dust, and I don't want that. It's as someone who is now a fully fledged FF14 evangelist in so many parts, thanks to you guys. It's the idea of I want to build that bridge for the content. I want to slowly introduce people and go, right, you may have issues with FF, but if you genuinely want an MMORPG, that's fantastic. Play FF. And I want to be able to slowly introduce that concept to people instead of trying to be too quick an evangelist and kind of throwing people off or getting people to look at what's that crazy bastard talking about.
We want to make the lives of our WoW audience better by treating them as humans, not just as WoW viewers. And that means helping guide them towards a gaming experience that is better for their life.
Yeah.
That's ultimately the mission.
Yeah, that is exactly what I want to do with my there's almost like a progression of content that's going to come out in the next couple of weeks, all things going well. And I have designed a sort of path to explain. It might not work very well, I have no idea. I'm just kind of putting my faith in it that it will explain to people, listen, FF is a good game. Here's all the like problems. Here's problems in both games, but this is a genuine experience. I'd very much like you all to play it because it's fantastic, and it's, I mean, it's, I don't want to sound super dramatic, but it's kind of been life-changing in a bit of a way, where I'm just like, I can't believe this. It's like playing Shadowbringers just completely snapped me out of a funk I've had. I'm just like,
It's been actually pretty incredible to see. Yeah.
I'm just like, this is unbelievable. This is completely unbelievable that video games are like this.
Yeah.
It's not right that people aren't playing this. Please get in this boat. It's a beautiful one.
Yeah, it's like find a great video game that actually could change your life in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like right now watching BoJack Horseman, and it's like, yeah, that's a bit of media genuinely making my life better and making me think about myself, my own actions and stuff critically.
Yeah.
Just not to say that I make similarly disastrous decisions to Mr. BoJack Horseman. I'd like to think I'm not that far gone.
Yeah, I think we'd have stopped you by then before you started going that bad. But
yeah, but just that thing of, media can genuinely be great. And it's like, I genuinely think for the average WoW player right now, you are literally best to play the WoW campaign, do the end game instance content that you're in for, and then instead of the bullshit, the Blizzard basically, it's almost like they're stringing you along to do it via their player abrasive systems design. No. Like, I know the best way that I can enjoy WoW is by raiding, maybe dabbling in the PvP that I want to do in a warrior, and then on basically everything that's not what I want to do in that warrior or raiding in my hunter, I will be playing FF, Shogun 2, Ratchet & Clank, other things, because I'm realizing that while at one point in time World of Warcraft could be my mono game and I could just play WoW forever and be really happy, it is because of how they have designed aspects of the end game, it is no longer that for me. I feel like they have made World of Warcraft, they've basically turned it from a very broad appeal game into a more narrow appeal game. I am lucky that it does fit within what I want to do in that now more narrow appeal, but I think it does mean that WoW is losing its ability to be all things to all people. I think it had a great degree of that in the past. Yeah. So now what has to pick up the slack is playing other games, having a more diverse gaming experience, and ultimately that is a good thing. Basically.
Definitely.
And if more people can experience more of gaming and have more of those positive opportunities in their life, especially, if we can help them do that. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like, well, I love it. Silicon Valley episode 1, where there's all these startup companies are like, we're going to make the world a better place via, and a whole bunch of random bullshit startup technobabble. And the joke is that it's all of these self-serving greedy fuckers doing bad things under the guise of making the world a better place. So I don't want to just, be all like, oh, we're truly doing, we're purely here as, I don't know, freaking saints or something trying to make everyone's life better. No, it's not that. It's just that, if that can be like a little bit of that can be a byproduct of us having fun playing games, then, I mean, goddamn, is that not sharing a love for video games in a way that'll, I don't know, just have a, I guess, I don't know, will my gaming as a person have a positive externality in the world?
Yeah, I think that's that's how I kind of feel about it. I'm like, please go play all these games that I love, because, I mean, no harm if you don't love them too, but if you could feel how I feel, I would be happy about that.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel, especially about FF14, because it's fucking good.